What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another favorites video for you. So today's video is a little bit different from usual. I love to do favorites videos where I talk about my favorite new polishes for each season, but today I actually want to talk about older nail polishes that I think I'm going to be wearing a lot this summer. Now don't worry, I'm still going to be doing a favorites video for summer 2024 polishes, but there's still a few collections that I'm waiting for them to come out to see if they're going to be favorites. So stay tuned for that, but in the meantime, I thought it might be nice to go through the polishes that I already own and talk about some of the favorites that I think I'm going to be wearing a lot this season. And maybe this video can remind you of some polishes that you already own that maybe you've been neglecting or maybe you forgot about, or maybe it'll inspire you to buy some older shades. I don't know. So we've got a lot of favorites to go over. Some of them are really old nail polishes. Some of them are not too old, maybe from last year or the year before that. I think I have 15 of them for today, but they're all really gorgeous summer polishes that I would consider to be favorites that I think I'm going to be wearing a lot this summer. As usual, all the polishes will be linked in the description. Some of them might not be currently available, but if they are, I will link them, don't worry. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into my favorites. So I'll go in a sort of rainbow order here, starting off with Strawberry Chillin' from China Glaze, and this was part of their collaboration with Dippin' Dots. I'll be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of that collection as a whole, but this color was such a standout for me. It's this gorgeous super neon pink that is absolutely packed with little glass flecks, so it just has a really beautiful shine. I thought the formula was nice. It's a little bit on the thick side, but it gave me full coverage in 2 coats, and I honestly found it to be pretty smooth on application, so definitely a big fan of this one. Gonna be wearing it a lot. And then we've got LA Colors Swift from their Quick Color collection. They're not all gonna be neons, I promise, but there are quite a few neons in here because some of them I just consider to be classics, and this is one of them. It's just this really beautiful hot pink neon that has this almost jelly-like formula, so you do get a little bit of visible nail line, but it has this sort of squishiness to it that I honestly love. For some reason, jellies just give me summer vibes, so I love the combination of a neon and a jelly, and I just think that LA Colors in general is such a great drugstore brand. Sometimes they can be hit or miss, but when they have a quality polish, I totally love it. And then we've got Orly Muy Caliente, and this one is another kind of jelly-like formula, but it does cover up my visible nail line, and this to me is just the perfect example of a neon red. It has a little bit of an oranginess to it. Honestly, sometimes I do think of it as an orange, but it is just so eye-catching, eye-searing, and it feels like the ideal summer color. It's kind of just like this lobstery color, and I will never get over this one. I will just always love it. And then we've got the shade Peach Glow from Starly, and this one's not too old, but I feel like this one definitely deserves a mention because it's such a beautiful neon orangey peachy shimmer. I do find that it leans a little bit more of an orange color on me, and we have this gorgeous vibrant yellow shimmer running throughout. The color itself can be a little bit on the sheer side, so I do like to wear it in 3 coats, but I do think it's just another one of those shades that's so eye-catching, and I feel like it's just the perfect summery color. It definitely reminds me a little bit of like a summery sunset. And then we've got the shade Tropical Pop from Orly, and this one is definitely an older shade, but it's another one that I will just never get tired of because it's this gorgeous neon orange creamsicle kind of color. Honestly, I don't think that my video does it justice. I think it's very interesting in person. It's kind of hard to capture like the nuance of the color, but it has this sort of whiteness to it that makes it look like you're wearing a white polish underneath it, but it's just so vibrant on its own. You don't need a white base. It's so bright and summery and fun, and I feel like this is also a great nail art shade, especially for gradients. It feels like the perfect gradient color to me. And then we've got OPI Exotic Birds Do Not Tweet, and this is a polish. I feel like I've mentioned this so many times over the last several years because this to me is just my go-to yellow nail polish. It's not a neon, but it just has that perfect vibrant yellow color. It is a 3-coater on me, but like I always say, I find that to be standard when it comes to yellow nail polishes. They're just a little bit trickier to get fully opaque, but I love this formula and I feel like it's just a pure primary yellow. So this is the color that I always end up coming back to, and another one that I'm just never gonna get tired of. And then we've got Easy Glowing from KBShimmer, and I just think this is a really fun one. This is a neon, but it's also a jelly, and it's totally packed with iridescent flakies. So it's not the same as wearing neon cream. It's definitely a very different different experience. It just feels funky. I love that neon yellowish green kind of color that almost looks like a neon chartreuse, but it definitely reminds me of like highlighter colors. And I just think it almost has this little chaoticness to it with all the flakies in there. But again, it's just one of those really eye-catching shades, so I always think it's fun. You do see a little bit of visible nail line, but you know I love that. And then we've got Holo Taco Full Charge. Now, this is one of my favorite shades that Holo Taco has ever come out with, and I feel like this color was just always severely underrated. When it came out, I feel like people didn't love it as much as I did, and I believe it's discontinued now, which is such a disappointment because I feel like it's just the perfect vibrant green linear holo. It has, again, that sort of yellowiness to it that makes it feel like kind of a chartreuse color, and when it hits the light, it's just so rainbowy and beautiful, so I'm always gonna cherish this one. Moving on, we have one of the first polishes in my collection. This is Too Yacht to Handle from China Glaze, and oh my goodness, I remember when I bought this polish. This is actually a second bottle because I have gone through multiple bottles, but this is their new formula. When they first came out with the summer collection, I don't remember what year it was, it might have been like 2014. It originally didn't have as good of a formula. I gotta admit, I like this one better. It's a little bit less neon, but it's just so much more workable. It's kind of like this Tiffany blue cream shade, and I don't know, I just have this fond nostalgia for it. Then we've got Over the Moon from Color Club. This was one of their original linear holos, and I will always love all of these. Honestly, I feel like I just reached for this one a lot because it's such a fun bright blue, but it has this gorgeous linear holo, and back in the day, this was such a great affordable option for holographic polishes, and it is a drugstore brand, so I feel like that always makes it very special to me. But honestly, I feel like this is more holographic than some more expensive brands. I just feel like it's incredible quality, so if you have these in your collection, you should definitely break them out for the summer. Linear holos in the summer are always amazing. Then we've got Picture Polish Bonbon. I believe this is a retired shade, but if you have it and you've forgotten about it, you definitely need to remember this one because it is one of my favorite picture polish shades of all time. It's just this gorgeous medium sky blue kind of color, and this one actually is a one coater on me. I do usually wear it in two just to make it feel like a kind of full manicure, but I feel like the color is just so summery and bright, and I just can't get over how incredible and opaque that formula is. And of course, I can't have a summer favorites video without mentioning Orly. It's Brittany Beach. This is just my favorite blue nail polish. It's kind of like this neon blue. It's so eye-catching. Honestly, I think it's even more vibrant in person than it looks in my video, and it can have a little bit of a jelly-like feel just depending on how much coverage you want. I like to wear it in two coats where you just get a little hint of my visible nail line, but if I want it to be more full coverage, I can wear it in three. I actually did wear this color on vacation a few years ago, and I felt like it was just the perfect vacation color. Next up, we have a polish that I don't know if I've ever talked about on my channel. This is Mooncat Sealed with a Hiss. I think this came out before I started collecting Mooncat polishes, but when I saw this, I knew I had to have it, and I think it's so beautiful. It's this really intense purple shimmer that also has these larger holo flecks running throughout, and like I said, I just feel like holo in the summer is so fun because especially when you're playing in the sun, it just sparkles so intensely, and I feel like this one's especially cool because it's really sparkly even when you're not in the sun because it has all of that shimmer in there, but then when you're in the sunlight, you get all of that extra rainbow sparkle, so it's really gorgeous. And then we've got LA Colors Purple Shock. This is just another really incredible drugstore polish. I know I just recently mentioned that I'm kind of over jellies, but I feel like I'm going to be wearing them a lot in the summer anyway because jellies just feel like summer to me, but this color just feels so nostalgic. It's like the color of like the jelly sandals and those little butterfly clips and inflatable furniture from when I was a kid, but this is just such a beautiful fuchsia base color, and then we've got these iridescent little sparkles running throughout, and I just think it's really fun, and I think it's really unique for a drugstore brand to have come out with this. And last but not least, we have Orly Party Animal. If you didn't know this, Orly comes out with honestly some of my favorite toppers out of any brand because they always just come up with these fun combos, and this one is just the ideal summer combination to me. We've got pink, orange, and yellow hex glitters in a few different sizes, and then we also have a Holo sparkle running throughout, and it almost has a little bit of like a neon pastel vibe to it, and I honestly think that this topper works over any color. I personally especially love it over cooler tones. I love wearing it over blues and greens and purples because I think it just has a really nice contrast, but it also works very nicely over the warmer shades or even variations of the colors that are in the glitter. But yeah, love this one. They also have a blue, purple, and green version of it, which I do definitely enjoy, but I just feel like this one screams summer to me. The color combination and how bright and summery it is, it just feels like a perfect topper, and honestly, I could probably wear this over any of the colors that I just talked about. So yeah, those are my old favorites that I'm going to be wearing a lot for summer 2024. Here's a little chart so you can see what they all look like side by side. And like I said, I think it's just fun sometimes to shop your stash of polishes that you already own and treat them like some new favorites. Maybe you haven't worn them in a few years, or maybe you've never worn them at all and it's time to break them out and start playing around with them. So yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What old nail polishes do you think you're going to be wearing a lot this season? Are there any favorites in this list that maybe you've forgotten about or you've been neglecting? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. Like I said, I am going to be linking all of the ones down in the description that are currently available, so be sure to check that out if there's any that you're interested in. And yeah, maybe we could save a little bit of money and shop our own stashes. So if you enjoy this type of video and you want to see more, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, a huge thank you to my supporters on Patreon, my Royal Astronomer Amanda M, as well as my Cosmic Admirals Ken, Rosie, and Angel. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question is another would you rather. Would you rather be able to control your own emotions or be able to control other people's emotions? I feel like this is a difficult one because usually these would you rather questions, I always like extremely favor one side, but this one I actually don't know what I would choose. I think for a lot of people the answer is probably easy because a lot of people have a good handle on their emotions already. I personally don't. I think I'm a very emotional person, and it's very easy for me to get emotional over small things, whether that is good or bad emotions. I feel like it would be very useful to be able to control my own emotions. There's also a lot of cool things that you could do if you could control other people's emotions, especially, you know, when you're doing something important, like, oh my gosh, if you're giving a speech or doing some sort of work presentation and you can control other people's emotions, I feel like that would be very useful. So I don't know, but I guess just because I'm the person that I have to deal with the most, I think I would probably choose to control my own emotions. And I definitely wouldn't want to take advantage of being able to have control of other people's emotions. Like I don't think I would use that to, you know, make people love me or anything like that, but I would certainly want to use it to make people not as critical of what I'm saying. Like if I'm giving a presentation or something, which I literally never give presentations, so I don't know why I'm thinking that, but like, I don't know, if something came up where I had to talk to a crowd of people, I feel like it would be nice to like be like, okay, you guys are all interested in what I have to say. Is that dumb? I don't know. I can't really think of that many practical uses, maybe. Yeah, I guess that just makes it easier. I'll just pick my own emotions. But if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. And also, would you choose to control your own emotions or other people's? I don't know. Leave it in the comments. We can chat about it, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.